Hey guys, it is I, Greg Bosson, and welcome to QuickBooks Made Easy for Nonprofits Quick Tip. This tip is for the month of May 2021, and I hope that you understand, based on what you see on the screen, that this is for those of you using QuickBooks Desktop. And I wanted to talk to you about something that I covered a couple of years ago, but I'm seeing all kinds of nonprofits that apparently don't know about this, so we need to revisit it. And that is setting the closing date. This is a feature that you can turn on in QuickBooks that will prevent you from changing your books after you've reported to the accountant, to the auditor, and after you've done your bank recs. This is a really important thing that you need to be aware of. So, and I think everybody should be setting their closing date. But let me just kind of explain to you why it is you might want to do this, and then I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so I've already have a profit and loss pulled up. So let's say I've given this profit and loss to the board of directors. I've reconciled the bank accounts through the end of the year. Here I am, December 31, 2020. I gave it to the board. You don't want to be changing any of these numbers after you give it to the board, right? And you certainly don't want to change it after you give it to your accountant or your auditor, because now I'm auditing the year of 2020, but now your QuickBooks is different because you've changed something, okay? So I don't want you to change things. Let me just, I don't know, I'll just pick on something and change it here. Let's see if I can find a transaction that's not a journal. Let's see, I bet you salaries. Here we go, here's a check. Here's a paycheck. That's really bad to change. But anyway, let's say I wanted to change, I don't know, the class. And that's not so bad, right? I'm not changing the number. I've just decided I want to change where something's, the class that something's pointed to. But it would really be bad if you changed a number. Say you accidentally changed the number there. So now the number's different. This is even a cleared transaction. It's like, why are you changing something after it cleared the bank? You should never be doing that. I'm going to go ahead and save it. But it'll let you do it. Sometimes it gives you a warning, sometimes it doesn't, but it'll let you do it. Now your books no longer match what you gave the board, what you gave the accountant, and it's going to create all kinds of problems. So what I want you to do is set the closing date. Now, what the heck does that mean? So what it is, it's a feature or a preference you can turn on. So I'm going to go to the Edit menu, and I'm going to go to Preferences, and I'm going to go to the Accounting Preferences, and I'm going to go to the Company Preferences tab. Now, only the head user or the administrator of your QuickBooks file can get in here. So hopefully that's you. And you see where it says closing date? Now people get real freaked out about this. They're like, I don't want to close books. I want to be able to get into them. You're still going to be able to get into them. You're even going to be able to change stuff. It's just going to prevent you from changing easily, okay? Which is good, okay? I want you to think long and hard before you change something. So this is what I'm suggesting you do. Click Set Date and Password, and then you're going to put your closing date in here. Now, when should you set your closing date? I think you should set your closing date every single month. So we're in May now. So after you've reconciled your books for April, after you give them the report to the board of directors, or actually right before you give the report to the board of directors, you want to set the closing date as of, in this case, April 30, 2021. Okay, so you're not doing it on April 30, 2021. You're doing it like on May 10th or 15th, but the closing date you're set is 4/30/2021. Now, you don't have to do this, but I also think that you should set a password. And what this password's going to do is it's going to make it to where the only way you can change stuff on or before this date is by entering the password. And it's a different password than the one that you use to sign in. I encourage you to create a separate password. It's not the password you use to sign into QuickBooks. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and close this. So now look what happens when I try and change something. I'm going to go into this check again, and I'm just going to try and change this back, get rid of this one. And okay, so now I've changed it. When I go to save it, look at this. This modification will affect transactions from closed periods and could also affect previous financial reports. You must enter the closing date password to make the change. That's what I like. Now, you can still change it. In this case, we probably would because we shouldn't have changed it before. But you may be just changing a class something's pointed to and you're okay. I mean, the QuickBooks isn't going to be, a dictator. It's like they understand you may still want to change stuff, but they just want to make you think again before you do it. So that's why I really like this. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So now I can change stuff back again. Okay. So now, or change whatever I need to change. But what I would do if I were you is every single month, I'll say it again, every single month after you've reconciled, I would go into the accounting, go into company preferences, click this, and then I would update the password to the next month. Okay. And notice people get real freaked out about this. It's like, look, yeah, you're kind of locking things in, but it's like a lock, but you have the key. Just as you can set the closing date, you can change the closing date. You can move it backwards, you can move it forward, you can get rid of it altogether if you want to. It's completely up to you. All right. So that is what the dealio is with the closing date. Please start using it. It'll make your life so much easier, and it'll make us accountants' lives easier as well, which is ultimately the most important thing in life, right? Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you wore a mask. Not during this, but just in general, I hope you're wearing a mask. Unless you've been vaccinated, then you can go without it outside sometime. Anyway, whatever. And I hope you're not offended by me saying that. Love you. Talk to you later.